Attorneys for Mexican drug lord Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán say they will appeal his conviction. A federal jury found Guzman guilty on 10 counts yesterday, including drug trafficking and money laundering. Now, he is expected to be sentenced to life without parole in June. Guzman's attorney, Jeff Lichtman, has defended other high-profile clients, including American mobster John Gotti Jr. He joins us for an interview you'll see only and first here on CBS This Morning. Good morning.
Thanks for having me.
We talked about there were 14 cooperating witnesses that the jurors heard from, text message, videos, weapons, an incredible amount of evidence by the prosecution. On what grounds will you be able to make an appeal?
Well, I mean, look, there were plenty of errors during the trial. Our cross-examination of the cooperators was incredibly restricted. I've never had this happen in a case where some very basic areas we were not allowed to go into. In fact, one of the witnesses believed that the Earth was about to be destroyed in an apocalypse. He believed in 15-foot aliens roaming the Earth searching for gold, and I wasn't allowed to question him on any of that. So the jury perhaps believed that he was sane, when in fact it was pretty clear that he was out of his mind. That was just one of many errors in the case. Now, I don't know that an appeal will work because, as you said, there was a tremendous amount of evidence, but you know, this is what we do. We try.
Why did you allow him on the jury, though, if that guy believed or...
No, he was one of the cooperating witnesses.
After the trial, you said something along the lines of, my client was presumed guilty. Do you not think he got a fair trial?
I don't think he got a fair trial. I mean, look, the press has to do its job, and I completely get it. But the press was overwhelmingly negative before the jury was even picked. We were presumed guilty. It was very difficult to get around the myth of El Chapo. In addition, as I said, the cross-examinations were so restricted that I don't believe that the jury ever really heard the full truth about these crimes.
The myth of El Chapo. Hold on.
Why didn't he take the stand?
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's very rare in a criminal case where a defendant takes the stand, and they had a tremendous amount of material to cross-examine him on had we put him on the stand. And my belief was, if we have any chance to win the case, we'll lose it if you take the stand.
So why just give 30 minutes in closing comments?
The 30 minutes means nothing. I mean, I don't know any defense lawyer who puts on very much. Who are we going to call? Other drug dealers from Mexico to say that he wasn't involved? It's not the case that we put on. It was the cross-examination of the witnesses that mattered.
So I'm confused. You said they have a tremendous amount of material to cross-examine him on, but then you just called it a myth. So did they have a lot of material, including how he ordered these grisly murders and all of that, or was it a myth?
You have to understand, the fact that he was involved in drug dealing, we never denied. We claimed that he was not the kingpin. That was the charge that landed him in prison for the rest of his life if he was convicted. So our position was he was really a fall guy. There is a guy in Mexico who leads the Sinaloa cartel, who has been indicted in America for decades. He's been indicted in Mexico. He has never been arrested in 50 years. He pays hundreds of millions of dollars.
Because they haven't been able to get him, Jeff.
They haven't been able to get him. You know what? You can't find who you're not don't care.
That does not make El Chapo innocent just because someone else that was involved has not been found.
That's a fair point, obviously. I mean, this is not an easy case. It doesn't make him innocent, but our position was that he was not the kingpin and therefore did not deserve the life sentence that the kingpin statute requires.
But jurors spent 6 days pouring through testimony from over 50 witnesses. The judge even went out of her way and said she felt like she was a proud American, given the dedication that these he was a proud American given the dedication that these jurors put in. What did they miss? What did they get wrong?
Well, I have to tell you, they certainly put the time in. I mean, this was a case that everybody expected when the case started, the jury would be out an hour. They were out 6 days. 6 days. I mean, this was a jury that very well could have come back and either acquitted him or hung, and we were expecting that could happen. What did they miss? You know, as I said, the jury missed a lot of the impeachment material. One of the witnesses, one of the cooperating witnesses, was threatening the people in the government, threatening to show all details about the witness protection program to the Mexican cartels. We were not allowed to cross-examine on that.
Should jurors be concerned about the verdict that they returned? Because a lot of people are concerned about sitting on that jury. And
they obviously weren't very concerned because
I know
look at
that,
the
but
verdict
should they be concerned now?
I don't think so. I mean, when was the last time?
Guzman's a good guy who's not going to go after him?
He's a good guy. How is he going to go after him? He's in complete isolation.
Apparently he has friends.
Yeah, there's a track record.
Who is he going to speak to? He can't have any visits other than from attorneys. He can't see his wife. He can see his 7-year-old daughters. He's not allowed to see anyone. He is in complete isolation for 2 years. And this is the isolation, just so you know, that one of the cooperators said that it was torture. He was tortured by the American government, and that's what caused him to cooperate. That's what Joaquín Guzmán is under.
You call him a
right
cool
now.
cat, Jeff, and a pleasure to represent.
He was.
You think he's a good person?
Listen, being a cool cat and a pleasure to represent does not make him a good person.
I'm asking you, do you think he's a good person?
He was good to me. And if I, as a defense lawyer, if I start being concerned with what people are accused of and what they're convicted of, I'll never be able to get out of bed in the morning. I need to look at them. How do you treat me? Because they need the most vigorous defense. And look, we all go to your cocktail parties and you have friends that are being investigated for tax evasion. Guess what? I'm the one that they call.
I don't know anybody. I've never been at a cocktail party with people who are
Well, they don't share it, perhaps. They don't share it.
I guess that's you saying he paid his bills, right?
Jeff, who are you hanging around with?
Paid his bills. All right, Jeffrey.
Hanging around with you guys.
Okay.
All right, Jeffrey Lichtman, thank you.
Thanks so much.